Good evening, everyone, and welcome. I'm Teresa Abril from Abril Travel, and I want to personally welcome you to the very first Sunday Night Escapes. I am so excited for you to be here. Whether you're joining us from Arizona or somewhere else in the country, tonight we're going to leave home for a little while and escape to one of the most beautiful destinations in the world. This isn't a sales presentation, it isn't a webinar. It's a chance to relax, dream a little, laugh together, and experience Italy from the comfort of your own home. So grab your favorite drink. I got mine. It's right here, my Coke Zero, and get comfortable. And let's spend the next hour exploring Italy together. So some housekeeping. Before we begin our journey, just a few quick housekeeping items. Feel free to use the chat throughout the evening. I love hearing your thoughts, questions, and travel dreams. Your camera is completely optional tonight, so participate however you're comfortable. And most importantly, relax. There's nothing to memorize tonight. Just enjoy the experience and let's have some fun. So before we head to Italy, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I know you guys know me, but sometimes we'll have some people in here that don't. I'm Teresa Brill, and I created Abril Travel because I wanted to be the kind of travel advisor I would want to work with. Someone who takes the stress out of planning and helps make every trip feel personal. I've always believed travel is much more than just checking destinations off a bucket list. It's about the memories you make, the people you meet, the food you try, and those moments that stay with you long after you come home. Italy has always held a special place in my heart because every region tells a different story. One day you're walking through ancient history, the next you're enjoying fresh pasta at a family-owned cafe, or watching the sunset over the Amalfi Coast. And that's exactly what tonight is about. We're not here for a history lesson. We're here to experience Italy together. So here's a little preview of where our adventure is taking us tonight. We'll discover incredible food, explore breathtaking places, share a few insider travel tips, have some fun with giveaways, and by the end of the evening, I hope you'll leave feeling inspired to experience Italy for yourself. The more you participate in the chat, the more fun tonight, so don't be shy. All right, are you guys ready to go to Italy?
Yes.
All right. I know I don't even know where my chat is. Sorry, guys. Okay, so I would love to get everyone involved right away. If you could teleport anywhere in Italy tomorrow, where would you go? You guys can tell me in the chat. You can tell me, you can unmute yourself. Would it be Rome, Venice, the Amalfi Coast, Lake Como? Let me know.
Maybe Venice.
I'm sorry,
Venice?
Venice. Linda doesn't care. She's just going to go wherever life takes her.
I would go to Venice too, and a drop of a coin.
Nice. All right. Yes, Venice is one of the popular locations that I do sell a lot. So yeah, I do want to do Venice. I can't lie. Venice will be pretty fun. All right. So just a quick poll. Have you ever visited Italy? Yes, no, or is it on your bucket list?
On bucket list.
So before we start exploring Italy, let's get our bearings. Italy is located in southern Europe and is probably one of the easiest countries to recognize on the map because it looks like a giant boot stretching out onto the Mediterranean Sea. To the north, it's connected to France, Switzerland, Austria, and Slovakian. I can never say that. I'm sorry, guys. Making it easy to combine with other European destinations if you're planning a longer vacation. But tonight, we're only going to focus on Italy itself. From the snow-covered Alps in the north to the rolling hills of Tuscany, the colorful villages along the Amalfi Coast, and all the way down to the islands of Sicily and Sardinia. Italy is incredibly diverse. What's amazing is that every region has its own personality, traditions, food, and even local specialties. So visiting Italy isn't just one vacation, it's a destination you can return to again and again, discovering something completely different each time. And tonight, we're just going to get a small taste of what makes this country so unforgettable. So now that we know where Italy is, let's talk about why millions of people fall in love with it every year. So when people ask me why Italy is one of the most loved destinations in the world, I usually don't start by talking about famous landmarks. I start by talking about how Italy makes you feel. Imagine waking up in a small Italian village. You open the window and hear church bells echoing through streets that have existed for hundreds of years. You walk to a neighborhood cafe where the owner greets you with a smile, even if you're never met before. Instead of rushing through the day, you slow down. You enjoy your coffee. You wander through narrow cobblestone streets. Maybe you discover a little family owned restaurant that isn't in any guidebook. You order homemade pasta, fresh bread, a glass of local wine, and suddenly you realize it's not just the food that's unforgettable, it's the experience. That's what makes Italy so special. Every corner has a story, every meal becomes a memory, every village feels like stepping into a postcard. Italy isn't a place you visit, it's a place you experience with all your senses. And long after your vacation is over, a little piece of Italy stays with you. So now that we know why so many people fall in love with Italy, let's visit some of the places that make it truly unforgettable. So one of my favorite things about Italy is that no 2 days ever feel the same. One morning you could be standing in front of a monument that's been here for over 2,000 years, and by that evening you're enjoying fresh pasta and watching the sunset over the Mediterranean. Italy has an incredible way of blending history, beauty, food, and everyday life into one unforgettable experience. It's a place where people don't rush through meals. They take time to enjoy conversations, to enjoy family, to appreciate the little moments. And I think that's something many of us could use a little more of. As you travel through Italy, you'll notice that every city has its own personality. Rome feels completely different from Florence. Florence feels different from Venice. The Amalfi Coast feels different than Tuscany. Every destination tells its own story, and that's what makes Italy so special. No matter how many times you visit, there's always another village to discover, another incredible meal to enjoy, another breathtaking view waiting around the corner. That's why so many visitors, that's why, sorry, many travelers don't visit once. And oh my gosh, you guys, I'm sorry. That's why so many travelers visit once and spend the rest of their lives dreaming about going back. So, okay, guys, finally, I'm going to stop talking for a second. And I would love to know what part of Italy shown on this slide catches your eye the most? Is it the history, the coastline, the food, or the charming village? You can let me know in the chat, or you can just unmute yourself.
The history.
The history?
The food. And you said one?
Any of them. Whoops.
Okay, because I can't do one or just one.
That would be so hard, wouldn't it?
The food and the breathtaking views.
The views. Mine is all of it. Um, so, I can't choose just one either, Stephanie. I get it. Now that we've talked about what makes Italy so magic, let's start exploring some of the places that people fall in love with. Of course, Rome. If there's one city that captures the heart of Italy, it is Rome. Often called the Eternal City, Rome is a place where history isn't locked away in museums, it's part of everyday life. Imagine walking down the street on your way to dinner and suddenly finding yourself standing in front of a 2,000-year-old monument. That's Rome. Every corner seems to have a story waiting to be discovered. Of course, the Colosseum is one of the city's most famous landmarks, and seeing it in person is something you'll never forget. But Rome is so much more than its famous attractions. It's wandering through charming piazzas with the gelato in your hand. It's tossing a coin into the Trevi fountain and making a wish. It's sitting at a sidewalk cafe watching the world go by while enjoying a plate of fresh cacio de pepe or carbonara. One of my favorite things about Rome is that you don't have to rush. Some of the best moments happen when you simply slow down, explore a side street, and explore something unexpected. Rome has its incredible way of making every traveler feel connected, not just to Italy, but to thousands of years of history, art, and culture. It's a city that leaves an impression long after you've returned home. So, guys, if you guys go to Rome, what would be the first thing you'd want to do? Visit the Colosseum, toss that coin, enjoy Italian food, or just wander the streets?
Everything.
Everything. It's everything.
I'm
Long as
calling
I'm
Everything.
out of
that
here.
corn.
So Rome is always maybe where many Italian adventures have begun. And a lot of the ones that when I saw Italy, Rome is my number one has to go place. So, but our next destination is like anywhere else in the world, a city where there are no cars, the streets are canals, and every turn feels like a scene in the movie. Welcome to Venice. This is where you guys all said you wanted to go. So, Venice isn't just another beautiful city. It's a city built on more than 100 small islands connected by hundreds of bridges and winding canals instead of roads. There are no cars, no buses, just boats, gondolas, and people exploring on foot. The next time you walk through Venice, it almost feels like stepping into another time. You'll wander through narrow alleyways, discover tiny cafes tucked around hidden corners, and beautiful stoned bridges that seem to appear out of nowhere. Of course, one of the most iconic experiences is taking that gondola ride through the canals, which I bet that's what you guys want to do, right? But some of the best moments in Venice aren't planned at all. They're the quiet ones. Watching the sunset over the Grand Canal, listening to musicians performing in St. Mark's Square, or simply sitting at a little outdoor cafe with a cappuccino or a glass of wine, while the city slowly comes alive around you. Venice reminds us that travel isn't about rushing from one attraction to another. Sometimes the most unforgettable memories come from slowing down and simply soaking it all in. So, what would you guys want to do? How would you want to explore Venice? By gondola, wandering the little streets, or relaxing at a cafe?
All the above.
Did you say all of it?
Yes, all the above. Yep.
And I'm sure that's Linda too. All of
Oh yeah.
it. Yeah. So our next destination is called the birthplace of the Renaissance. And it is actually the number 2 spot that a lot of travelers want to go to. And that's Florence in Tuscany.
Mm-hmm.
Florence is also often called the birthplace of the Renaissance. As you walk through the city, you're surrounded by incredible art, magnificent architect, and centuries of history. It's the kind of place where every street seems to tell a story. You'll find masterpieces created by artists like Michelangelo and Leonardo da Vinci, breathtaking churches, beautiful piazzas, and charming cafes where you can simply sit back and enjoy the atmosphere. But just outside Florence, the landscape begins to change. And now you're in Tuscany. This is the Italy so many people picture when they dream about visiting. The rolling green hills, rows of vineyards stretching toward the horizon, ancient stone farmhouses, cypress trees lining quietly with the country roads, small hilltop villages where life seems to move just a little slower. Tuscany invites you to slow down and enjoy a long lunch with a glass of local wine, to wander through a village without a schedule, to watch the sunset over the countryside and simply enjoy the moment. It's peaceful, it's beautiful, and it's one of those places that make you understand why people return to Italy again and again. And if you guys haven't noticed in the last couple of slides, one thing I've always been saying, slowing down, right? Italy is about slow down. Here, we don't understand what slow down is. I know Stephanie has it. She has two businesses. Linda works, has a kid, we don't know how to slow down. But when you guys
Mhm.
go to Italy, you're going to have to slow down. Okay. You're not allowed to not slow down. So if you guys had one afternoon in Tuscany, what would you choose? A vineyard tour, exploring a charming village, or relaxing with an incredible meal?
Relaxing.
I bet Stephanie wants that vineyard tour.
Yeah, that too.
she, wants, she wants that one.
Mhm. Absolutely.
So we've explored Italy's ancient cities. We've wandered its romantic canals, and now it's time to visit one of the most breathtaking coastlines in the entire world, the Amalfi Coast. So have you guys ever seen a postcard from Italy with those colorful homes climbing dramatic cliffs above
Hmm.
brilliant blue waters?
Yep.
There's a good chance it was taken right here. The Amalfi Coast isn't just beautiful, it's breathtaking, as we all know. Every turn along the winding coastal road reveals another incredible view. You'll discover charming towns like Posziano, Amalfi, and Ravello, each with its own personality, spectacular scenery, and unforgettable atmosphere. One of the things I love most about the Amalfi Coast is that it invites you to guess what? Slow down and simply enjoy where you are. Imagine starting your morning with coffee overlooking the Mediterranean, spending the afternoon exploring colorful streets filled with little boutiques and cafes, then ending your day with fresh seafood, homemade pasta, and a sunset that seems almost too beautiful to be real. This is one of those destinations where the journey is just as memorable as the destination itself. Whether you're relaxing on the beach, taking a boat ride along the coastline, or simply sitting on the terrace watching the waves roll in, the Amalfi Coast has a way of making time stand still. It's another one that's romantic and it's beautiful. And it's one of those places people dream about long after they've returned home. So when you guys think of the Amalfi Coast, Stephanie, I know you're a wedding planner, so you're thinking honeymoons right now,
Hmm.
um, or even
Yep.
getting married there, right?
Hmm.
But what would be the one thing that you would want to do? Would you want to drive along the coast, take a boat tour, relaxing on the beach, or having
Yes.
dinner?
Driving along the coast, having dinner. I mean, who? Listen, you gotta eat. All I'm thinking about is food, food, food.
Food, 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 and all that Italian food. Oh,
Hmm.
girl, all that hard work, you come back, you got to do that hard work all over again.
Yes.
So, as incredible as the Amalfi Coast is, Italy's southern beauty doesn't end there. Just beyond the mainland is an island filled with ancient history, dramatic landscapes, unforgettable food, and a culture all on its own. Let's continue our journey to Sicily. So, Sicily is just off the southern tip of Italy. This island has its own personality, traditions, flavors, and rhythm of life. Here, ancient history is everywhere. You can walk among Greek temples in the Valley of the Temples, explore century-old towns, and see architecture shaped by the many cultures that have called Sicily home. The scenery is just as unforgettable. You have dramatic coastlines, crystal clear water, charming seaside towns, and of course, Mount Etna rising over the island. And then Stephanie's favorite, the food. Sicily is famous for fresh seafood, arancini, local wines, incredible street food, and one of my favorites, cannolis. But what really makes Sicily special is the feeling. Guess how life moves here?
Low.
A little slower. than the hospitality is warm and culture is vibrant, and every town seems to have its own story. Sicily isn't just somewhere you visit, it's somewhere you experience with all of your senses, and it's a place that stays with you long after you leave. So, in Sicily, what would be your favorite thing to go see or eat?
I want to see the temples.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
Hmm. All right, I just don't want to eat. I just want to see some stuff too, okay?
Right. I know. I'm making it sound like you a fatty, but you're not a
I
fatty.
am a
We,
fatty.
we just like to eat.
We like to eat.
All right, guys. So next, we're going to visit the 5 charming villages. And I know I'm going to mess this up, and I've been practicing because I always want to say it a different way. Cinque Terre. I think that's how you say it. If I messed it up, I am sorry. Please don't make me say this more than once. So the name means 5 lands or 5 worlds, and it's made up of 5 colorful fishing villages perched along the rugged cliffs of Italy's northwest coast. Each village has its own unique personality, but they're all connected by scenic hiking trails, trains, and breathtaking coastal views. One of the many things that make this spot so special is that life here feels wonderfully simple. You'll spend your days wandering narrow stone streets lined with colorful homes, discovering little shops, enjoying fresh seafood, and watching fishing boats gently bob in the harbor. If you enjoy hiking, the trails between the villages offer some of the most spectacular views in all of Italy. And if hiking isn't your thing, you can simply hop on a train or ferry and enjoy each village at your own pace. Guess what? There's no rush. You can slow down. But people gather in the evenings along the waterfront with a glass of local wine, watching the sunset paint the colorful buildings in shades of gold and orange. Like all the other locations in Italy, it's peaceful, it's authentic, and it's one of those places that remind you that some of life's greatest joys are also the simplest. This location isn't about checking attractions off a list. It's about slowing down, soaking up the scenery, and creating memories you'll carry with you long after this trip is over. So, will you guys hike or are you going to take the boat?
The boat.
The boat. Hey, Linda,
I'll
you
do
up
some
for
hiking.
you up for a hike, Linda?
Me? Yeah, I'll hike
Yeah.
wherever.
You'll hike wherever? All right. I think I would have to do both. Hike a
Hmm.
little, boat a little, or train a little. So yeah, I think I do want to see this. This is pretty cool, even though I can't pronounce it. So sorry about that, you guys. All right. And now for our last stop that we're going to take before we get to some good stuff is the beautiful Lake Como. So Lake Como is one of Italy's most elegant and peaceful destinations. It's nestled in the foothills of the Alps. Lake Como has been attracting travelers for centuries, and it's easy to understand why. Crystal clear water, charming lakeside villages, elegant villas surrounded by beautiful gardens, and mountain views that seem to stretch on forever. Unlike some of Italy's larger cities, Lake Como has a wonderful, peaceful pace. This is a place where you wake up slowly, enjoy breakfast overlooking the water, and spend the day exploring picturesque villages like Bellagio, Varenia, and Menaggio. You could take a ferry across the lake, stroll through quiet cobblestone streets, browse little boutiques, or simply sit at a cafe and watch the boats drift by. One of my favorite things about Lake Como is how calming it feels. It reminds you that sometimes the best vacations aren't about doing more. They're about, guess what? Slowing down enough to enjoy where you truly are. Whether you're celebrating a honeymoon, an anniversary, or simply treating yourself to something special, Lake Como offers an experience that's both luxurious and incredibly relaxing. It's elegant without feeling pretentious, peaceful without ever feeling boring. And it's one of those places that quietly captures your heart. So looking at this slide and kind of hearing the description of Lake Como, what sounds more relaxing to you? A private boat ride, exploring charming villages, dining by the lake, or simply sitting with a coffee enjoying your view?
Hmm. All those.
Everything sounds more relaxing over there, huh?
Mhm.
All right. Sorry, I did forget to pull this up. Sorry, guys. All right, my friends, I am bringing this over here. Our next little fun that we have is our first giveaway. And actually, let me add, because my friend I have one that's listening to, oh, hold on. We just got Ariel. Hold on just a second. Did she come in? Hold on. Oh, yeah, she's joining. Hold on. We have someone named Ariel coming in. So I will put her on. Hi, Ariel. You can always unmute yourself and talk. We're just having some fun tonight. So, and you made it just in time for our first giveaway, which is a $10 Amazon gift card that you will get at the end of tonight. It's all digital. And sorry. All right. So Ariel, just so you know, I'm not very what do you call it? Formal. So um so you can jump in anytime you feel. All right, guys. So we have my little spinner, and we're going to spin for the 15 or the $10 Amazon gift card. And let's shuffle. Let's add, oh, not add a wheel. What am I doing? Smoking crack. Oh, man. Oh, hold on, guys. I am so sorry. See, this is what happens when you come into my very first one. I
You're
make
doing
some
good.
mistakes. Can I delete? I don't want that one. Can that go away? All right, we're just going to spin this first one. I don't know what that other one was. I have no idea. So Whitley, you did win where did it say Charles Whit? Anyway, I don't know where that Charles came from, but um, Whitley, I will send that over to you after the meeting or after the meeting. I'm sorry. I'm so used to after our party tonight. Okay. So Ariel, really quick, hon, we went through the different areas of Italy, but don't worry, everybody will be getting in a recording of all of this, so you're not missing anything, okay, hon? All right, so we got our first giveaway away. Now we are going to Planning your Italian adventure. Now that we've explored some of the places that make Italy so unforgettable, let's talk about how to turn all the inspiration into a trip that actually feels enjoyable. One of the biggest mistakes people make when planning Italy is trying to fit in too much. Rome, Venice, Florence, Tuscany, the Amalfi Coast, Lake Como, it all sounds amazing, and it is. But Italy is an experience when you leave room. Oh, is best experience. Sorry, I get nervous. When you leave room to slow down. That means choosing the regions that matter most to you, balancing travel time between destinations, and building in space for the moment you can't plan. Maybe that's lingering over lunch at a family-owned restaurant. Maybe it's wandering through a neighborhood you didn't expect to love. Maybe it's sitting by the river, by the water with a coffee and realizing you don't need to be anywhere else. The best itinerary isn't the one with the most stops. It's the one that feels like you, your pace, your interest, your vision of Italy. That's what thoughtful planning should do. It should make the trip feel easier, more personal, and more memorable. So, out of everything we've seen tonight, which destination would absolutely have to be part of your trip? You could put it in the chat, um, or you can just unmute.
Okay, what did you ask? What is what?
Out of everything we've seen tonight with the destinations, which destination is an absolute part of your trip?
Rome.
Rome. I told you that was that number one.
Mhm.
All right. So once you've chosen the kind of Italy you want to experience, the next big question is when to go.
Tomorrow.
So this is my number one question that I get asked a lot is when is the best time to visit Italy? And the answer might surprise you. There really isn't a bad time to visit Italy. Each season offers something completely different. If you love blooming gardens, comfortable temperatures, and fewer crowds, spring is absolutely beautiful. Everything feels fresh, and it's one of my favorite times for sightseeing and enjoying the outdoor cafes. Summer is perfect if you're dreaming of long sunny days, because we don't have that here, But they do have the beautiful beaches, the lively festivals, and the classic Mediterranean vacation. But it is also the busiest season, so you need to plan ahead, which is especially important. If you love fall, that's another wonderful time to visit. The weather is so comfortable. If you love wine, the vineyards come alive because it's harvest season. And you'll also find fewer crowds while still enjoying beautiful scenery. And then there's winter. Cities are quieter. Holiday markets are filled in the streets. And if you love Christmas, Italy has an atmosphere that's incredibly charming. So instead of asking, when is the best time to visit? I like to ask a different question. What kind of vacation are you dreaming about? Because once we know that, choosing the right season becomes much easier. And the best time to visit Italy isn't the same for everyone. It's a season that matches your travel style, your interest, and the experience you're hoping to have. So if you guys hear that it's about you, okay, but if you're going with a couple people or a group, it may need to be around other people besides you. But if it's your trip, it's all about you. So it's okay to be selfish and be about you. So in the chat, or you can unmute, what season sounds most like your dream vacation? Spring, winter, fall, or winter?
Spring.
Spring. Yeah, I do spring and fall, but I do get some people that want summer the last minute. And But yeah, I haven't done a winter one yet. So I'm hoping one day someone wants to do Italy in the summertime, in the wintertime, because I think that'd be pretty cool to see how what they liked about it.
Hmm.
And it's just me and you, Stephanie.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So here are some common mistakes um, that that are common that happen, but they can also be avoidable. So the first thing is trying to see too much, like we've talked about before. Italy isn't a destination you want to rush through. Why? Because they want you to slow down, right?
Hmm.
Instead of trying to visit 6 or 7 cities in one trip, choose a few places and really experience them. The second is overpacking. You don't want to have all that heavy luggage at the train stations and cobble streets and all that stuff. If you have I always take 2 pairs of shoes. My walking shoes and then a nice pair of shoes if I want to go out to dinner or dress up. But if I forgot something, like if I'm going in the winter, I don't know what kind of coats I need. So I would actually wait until I get there to buy myself a coat. And then, instead of having all that heavy, and your luggage is really heavy and you have to pay extra. So overpacking is number two, which I think there's another one that should actually be number two, and we'll get to there. In traveling, the next one is traveling in peak season. There's a lot of crowds. Prices are actually higher in summertime than they would be any other time of the year sometimes because it's, supply and demand, right? Everybody wants to be there. The other one is not having a plan. So just going out there and going, okay, whatever I want to see. But if you are going in during peak season and you really want to see the Vatican, you have to plan that out at least, 6 months to 3 months in advance because that excursion actually does sell out very quickly. So not having a plan can really hinder your trip
Hmm.
because you can waste time and you can actually pay more for last minute bookings or again, miss out on places you really wanted to see. Now, this one is actually what I think number two should be is overlooking your local insight. And the reason why I say that is because your locals live there. So talk to them, ask them where their favorite restaurant is. What is their favorite place they want to eat or shop? Or is there like a little gem that nobody knows about? Maybe it's a little museum or just this little boutique that everybody loves, but nobody knows because it's not on any guidebook or, you know. So please, please, anytime that you do go to somewhere, it can be in the States, it can be anywhere in the world, talk to your local people, and just really just use them as guides.
Hmm.
And the last one is booking the way wrong, booking the wrong way. Sorry. Booking piecemeal online. Okay, so you can actually miss transfers and all this other stuff just by doing everything separately online. And if you're not, and if you don't, you can miss connections, unexpected fees, or you spend hours and hours spending time trying to fix problems while you're supposed to be enjoying your vacation. So that's another common mistake, is some people try to do piece by piece, and they are missing a lot of um, prices because say you book your flight by itself, you book your hotel by itself, your rental car or whatever your excursions, and you don't do it as a trip or as a package, then it can get confusing and messed up. And Stephanie, as a wedding planner, if we don't have that in that timeline, we're missing something.
Yeah.
So booking the wrong way can really, really hinder you. And for an example, and this is for number one, I remember I had a client that originally wanted to visit 7 cities in 10 days.
Wow.
And on paper, it looked exciting. But once we talked through what they really wanted, we sat down, we redesigned the itinerary to focus on 4 destinations out of those 7s. They came home saying they felt like they experienced Italy instead of just checking places off the list, like we talked about earlier. And they ended up going the following year to the other 3 destinations that they wanted. Now, not everybody can do that. So that's why it's really, really important to know what are your what are your must-haves, and then book it with that, with your must-haves. So everything in your A list, we want to make sure we get. Your B can go, and C is not as important as your A. But don't worry, all of these are avoidable. So why work with a travel advisor? One of the biggest misconceptions I hear is, why would I use a travel agent when I can book everything online? And honestly, that's a fair question. And the truth, when I go to California or somewhere in the States, I use Trivago. I'm not going to lie here and tell you guys I don't use those sites because I do for myself. And it is easy to book online. But when you're planning the right vacation, it takes a little more than clicking buttons.
Hmm.
And every traveler is different. Some people dream of relaxing along the Amalfi Coast. Others want to explore museums in Florence, maybe take a cooking class in Tuscany. And my job isn't to sell you a vacation. My job is to help you create your vacation, one that's designed around here we go again with the your travel style, your budget, your interests, and the memories you want to make. And the thing is, I also spend the time researching hotels, transportation, tours, and logistics so you don't have to. If something unexpectedly happens while you're traveling, you have someone in your corner.
Hmm.
Now, I'm not saying you can't spend that time researching hotels and your transportations. And and here's a little secret that I want to tell you guys is that it doesn't cost to work with a travel agent, but we do all the work. Now, there are some travel agents that do charge a service fee. I'm not one of those, but there are some that do, and that's perfectly fine. They do that so that they know that you are serious um, about your trip and that you did not, you're not just trying to get a price and never come back to them. But we get paid by our suppliers for bringing you to them. So it costs nothing for me to do all this work for you. And there's no obligation, obviously, at the end if you want to take it or not. But to get an itinerary to see, how much would something like this cost? Because you know what? You may be surprised that it's not as much as you think sometimes. And I really don't want you to miss out on the opportunity to go visit somewhere that you really want to go because you think it's going to be too expensive. And because I work with trusted travel partners, sometimes I can get you those upgrades. I I can recommend experiences and opportunities that many of you guys never discover on your own because you don't know. You're not the specialist, right? I'm a
Hmm.
specialist, so I know where to where to go. And you say that you want to see something, I know where to send you, um, so that you get those memories that you truly want. And most importantly, I generally love helping people travel. There's nothing better than hearing someone come home and say, that was the best vacation we've ever taken. And Stephanie, I know with you, that is the best. At the end of a wedding, your bride and your couple come up to you and they're like, that was more than we ever hoped for or
Hmm.
we ever envisioned. And that's what I want when I'm helping you guys with your travel is I want you to come home and being like, man, that was the best vacation. And I want to go again, or I'm so glad I spent the money to do that.
Mhm.
So, if someone planned your dream Italian vacation, what would be most important to you? More time, less stress, unique experience, peace of mind. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the chat. Hello, my neighbor. You can always unmute and talk if you like, or you can just type in the chat.
Peace of mind.
Peace of mind, knowing you
Hmm.
have someone there behind you
Yeah.
just in case something happens.
Yeah. Or tell me what to look out for that I don't know to plan my trip better.
Now, my buddy Salita she's my neighbor, and she's been to Italy. So, um, I know that for a fact. um, but no, so she may have some tidbits for us tonight. So, and when we're talking about that peace of mind, and I hate to say this out loud, but I have to. So when the Maui fires happened a couple years ago now, and it was in the news and stuff that Costco, they were not giving out they weren't giving people money back. They weren't doing any of that. And those people were frustrated. They're on the phone, going, getting transferred from one division to another and just the whole circle. When you have a travel agent, guess who's on that phone? Going through the circle, and
Mhm.
spending hours and hours of hours of time having your back and making sure that you get what you were supposed to um, you're supposed to get. Okay, so we have another prize, but this is a trivia question, and this is for a $15 Starbucks gift card. All right, get your typing fingers ready. Here we go. So, which Italian city is known as the floating city?
Oh, Lord.
The best one, come on. The first one gets that $15. Really, Stephanie? Wrong.
I know. I
It's your
can't.
favorite one. Salita, do you want it? Come on, girl, type it in. You know it. Well,
No,
it is. Can you want a second guess there, Stephanie?
I don't
Oh my gosh.
remember.
She goes, oh my gosh, long time ago. So, which city is known as the floating city? You know, the one that there's no cars, no buses, all streets, all water. Yes, Venice. All right, Salita, you got it, baby girl. She's got the $15 gift card, which I will email you as soon as we're over, okay, honey? If I would have known that, I would have bought her one. She lives across the street. All right, guys. So, are you ready to plan your Italian adventure? So, I hope tonight has shown you that Italy is so much more than just a destination. It's an experience. Whether you're dreaming of tossing a coin into the Trevi Fountain, sailing along Amalfi Coast, wandering through the vineyards of Tuscany, or enjoying a quiet evening in Lake Como, every trip can be designed to fit the way you like to travel. If tonight inspired you, I'd love for you to turn that dream into a real itinerary. Again, there's absolutely no pressure. All right, guys. So whether you want to plan your trip next year, next month, if you're celebrating a honeymoon, getting married, organizing a family vacation, or just starting to explore ideas, I am here whenever you're ready. Travel planning should be exciting, not overwhelming. And that's exactly what I love helping people with. So now, before we wrap things up, I have a few more surprises for you. So first is your Italy toolkit. So in here, you're going to get the Italy packing checklist. So we make sure that you do not overpack. Basic Italian phrases, Italian cheat sheet which is going to give you like what's the plugs, how much to tip, and all that good stuff. A surprise bonus. Also the giveaway information. So anybody who won a card will get um that as well. And then a planning link. So if you have any questions, if you would like to see how much it would cost to go to Italy, that's all in there. And I do have one more surprise for you guys, which is it's going to be our tradition. All right. And tonight, you guys become the very first Abril Explorer. So what this is in your email tonight, you'll receive a link for your own Abril Explorer passport. Think of it as your travel journal for all of our adventures together. Tonight, Italy becomes your first destination. You'll receive your first digital passport stamp along with your passport, marking the beginning of your journey as an Abril explorer. Every time you join a future Sunday Night Escapes event, you'll collect another destination stamp. Over time, your passport will become a fun keepsake of all the places we've explored together, even before you packed a suitcase. My hope is that one day you'll look back through your passport and remember not only the destinations we discovered, but the dreams you started planning and the memories we shared along the way. Whether you eventually visit one country or all of them, every great adventure starts with that first step. So tonight, your first stamp is Italy. And I am so excited to have you as one of my very first Abril Travel Explorers. So, and here's a little hint for you guys are not going to be the OGs, right? Is that as say next year in August when we do like our whole year party, right? I'm going to say, hey, who has passport 001? Because you guys, every passport that goes out is going to be which event that we did. So this is the first one. So it's 001. So, and I'll have a drawing to give away something for someone who has 001 or maybe it's 003. I don't know what I'm going to do. But I hope this is like just some little fun thing that we can always have together. And maybe in 10 years, when we're still doing this, we can look back at that and be like, man, I remember the first one versus now. Because you guys know as we grow, it's going to get better and better, right? All right. So enough about that because I'm going to end up crying. So a sneak peek for next month. We are going packed in bags, man. We're going to Antigua and Barbuda. All right. So make sure you guys have your little tropical drink ready.
Mm,
And, you know, we're going to be leaving Italy behind. We're going to the Caribbean. So a little
fun.
bit, Antigua is known for its stunning beaches, turquoise water, sailing culture, delicious island flavors, and rich history. Now, I will tell you guys, every Sunday, Shirley Heights has their barbecue, which I will be attending. Antigua is going to be a little bit different. I'll be just coming back about 10 days before our next Sunday night event, which is on the week of Labor Day weekend. So, because I'm not going to change it. If you guys are out of town, just sign up so I know to send you the recording and anything that goes with that. But yes, so we are going to talk all about the beaches. There's 367 beaches in Antigua. Barbuda has the pink sands. So next month we're going to Antigua, baby. I'm actually going in a couple weeks. So, but you guys have to wait one more month. Sorry. But I do hope that you guys had a blast tonight with Italy. And did anybody have any questions? What we've learned tonight?
So you were saying that if we wanted to have you to plan as our travel, we don't have to pay anything to you,
No,
and we can do groups and stuff. Like we're gonna plan.
correct.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. Because again, I get commission from the supplier.
Okay.
So I do not take any money from my clients. And yes, I do groups, family reunions, weddings, because I know, um, client appreciations and all that stuff. Oh, Salita, she's at work. Oh, baby. Well, thank you for joining us. And that's good. So, again, you're going to get all the recording, from the whole thing today. So don't worry, hon. And you will get that, what do you call it? Starbucks gift card. All right. So, yes, Stephanie, back to that. Yeah. So we do not, yeah, I do not charge
Okay.
for my services. So like I said, if you guys do want to get an itinerary, like an estimate, that doesn't cost anything. And there's no obligation.
Okay.
All
Hmm.
right. So I have, so we have our $25 Amazon gift card that I'm giving away for the very end. Stephanie, I am not going to spin the wheel because I know you've been here from the beginning to the very end. So I'm just going to give you that $25 Amazon gift card.
Thank you.
Um, so I will send that over to you tonight as well.
Thank you.
And you guys, for everybody who signed up for today, even if you couldn't make it, I love you dearly. I want to just stop and say thank you. Thank you for spending part of your evening with me and making the very first Sunday night escape such a wonderful experience. I've been working on this for about 6 weeks and um,
Good
was
job.
nervous, you guys.
You did good.
So I hope tonight has inspired you to dream a little bigger, discover somewhere new, and maybe even start planning your own Italian venture. I cannot wait to see how big we can grow. If you guys do sign up and again, you cannot make it, please don't worry. I will always send you everything. If you refer a friend, you guys get the link for Antigua and you're like, oh my gosh, this is really cool. I want to, spread it around. When you do that, I will ask in the chat who shared the link and who was their friend, if their friend's on or not, or if they, again, they registered, but they couldn't come. Um, I'm doing another drawing just for you that helped me grow. So that will be a special spin of the wheel at the very end, after the $25 gift card. Um, and that one you do not have to be online. Um, you know. But tonight, I think Stephanie, she did stay with me for the whole time, so I think she deserves that $25 card.
Thank you.
Um, I can't wait to see you guys again next month. I know some of you may not be here because you're out of town. I already know. I got you. Because it is Labor Day weekend. But Antigua and Barbuda, it's gonna be a blast.
Yeah.
So until then, I want you guys to stay curious, keep dreaming, and remember, the world is waiting. I'm going to stay on a couple minutes just in case you guys have any other questions. It will not be on record. I will end the recording. But again, thank you from the bottom of my heart for supporting me in doing this new little adventure that I'm doing. But every month, like clockwork, the first Sunday of every month from at 7 p.m. Arizona time, since we don't change. And as always, have a wonderful evening.
You too.
And I'm always your friend in travel. Have a good night, guys.
You too. Thank you. Good job, Teresa.